I know. You want to travel. So here are some of the most interesting travel destinations you can find in Germany, with a few odd ones sprinkled in. If you travel there by car, bike, train or plane, is up to you entirely. In place number 1, die Rakotzbrücke, aka the Devil's Bridge, in Gablenz, Germany. The reflection of this awesome 19th century bridge creates a perfect circle. This was of course built so on purpose. Commissioned in 1860 by a real knight. They might have overdone it on the perfection part though, since lore describes the Rakotzbrücke as the Devil's Bridge due to its wondrous appearance. Or was it maybe seen as too dangerous? Who really knows? Fact is that crossing the bridge is forbidden in order to preserve this beautiful relic. And if this doesn't keep you from making your way to this artificial lake, then best wait until fall so you can enjoy the beautiful foliage. Find links to all places described in this video down below in the video description. Also let us know what is your favorite place to visit in Germany. Next up, in place number 2, the Liquidrom in Berlin, Germany. Is there anything more Berlin than techno music? Well, probably not. So it comes as no surprise that this Berlin-based spa offers an experience with a beat. In this so-called Liquidrom, visitors can relax and float in salt water while listening to underwater techno. The spa is located in the so-called Tempodrom, which almost looks like an alien-built structure straight out of a sci-fi movie. It once served as a giant train station during the time of the Second World War. Now the hustle and bustle is gone and calm remains in its place. With a variety of baths and saunas, relaxation is guaranteed. In place number 3, Castle Frankenstein in Mühltal, Germany. Not necessarily the home of monsters, but likely the inspiration for one of the world's most well-known novels. Born in Castle Frankenstein in 1673, eccentric alchemist Johann Conrad Dippel spurred rumors of terrible experiments with stolen body parts from the local graveyard. He also invented what he called a universal medicine, which was made from the destructive distillation of animal parts. His animal oil, of course having only questionable effects, fell into disrepute by the end of the 18th century. Castle Frankenstein, although in ruins, remains to this day. 2 towers, 1 restaurant and a chapel make up the main attractions tourists can visit. Those who enjoy dressing up as ghouls and monsters can visit the annual Halloween party at the castle during late October and early November. If this destination is haunted remains unknown. How about you find out for yourself? In place number 4, the AquaDom at Radisson Blu in Berlin, Germany. If you like fishy denizens of the oceans, then this is something you need to check out. The supposed largest cylindric fish tank in the whole wide world can be seen at the Radisson Blu Hotel in Berlin. With over 1 million liters or about 260,000 gallons of water, this massive fish tank is home to over 2,000 fish from over 50 different species. It even has its own coral reef. But that's not the best part. You can actually take an elevator through the middle of the tank to gaze at its inhabitants up close. And if you're lucky, you might even catch one of the many divers at work. The aquarium by itself is worth over 12 million euros, so make sure not to damage anything. It could get pricey. In place number 5, das grüne Gewölbe, aka the Green Vault in Dresden, Germany. Wow, I mean, wow. You like shiny things? Everybody likes shiny things. Well, this is a vault full of shiny things. Maybe the biggest collection of different kinds of treasure in the world. Well, if you don't count some hidden drug baron's stash of gold, of course. There's a little bit of everything, from ornate silverware to a nearly microscopic portrait, which can only really be looked at through a magnifying glass. And who collected all these things, you ask? Well, originally it was owned by Augustus the Strong boy and ruler of Saxony. Next up, In place number 6, the Bergpark Wilhelmshöhe in Kassel, Germany. This large hillside park contains 300-year-old hydro-pneumatic waterworks and is located west of the city center. Bergpark literally translates to mountain park and was first started in 1696. Over 90,000 gallons of water flow through the waterworks, which are connected to the channels and reservoirs. Its starting point is the so-called Grand Cascade, which descends from an octagon-shaped building surmounted by a pyramid topped with a giant Hercules statue. Also waterfalls, water rapids, and a grand fountain, which shoots up water in the air like a geyser. In the UNESCO World Heritage Site that is the Bergpark Wilhelmshöhe. In place number 7, the skeletons of Waldsassen Basilica in Waldsassen, Germany. What? You say you don't like skeletons? Say that again. After looking at these ones dressed in fancy 18th century garb, these Christian martyrs are known as the Holy Bodies and were exhumed from the catacombs of Rome between 1688 and 1765. They are covered in jewels and look fancier than any corpse I've ever seen. Amazing. There's even a Holy Bodies Fest every year, telling people that they too are holy bodies. Some folk even go as far as to make pilgrimages to the church in order to pray to the armless Christ statue, which is also located there. It is said that a soldier once broke off the statue's arms for unknown reasons back in the day. Still, this is definitely a sight to behold and comes highly recommended for those interested in religious artifacts. In place number 8, the Saalfeld Fairy Grottoes in Saalfeld, Germany. Sure, fairies might not be real, but these colorful caverns definitely are. Filled with stalagmites and stalactites, these caves were once a slate mining pit known as Jeremiah's Luck. The so-called Feengrotten were even awarded a spot in the Guinness Book of Records as the most colorful grottos of the world. The caverns consist of 3 chambers, connected by galleries in which you can learn about the history of the mine itself and much more. One of the chambers contains the famed fairy kingdom in Märchendom, featuring variegated groupings of deposits that, illuminated by theatrical lights and reflected in a perfectly still pool of water, is thought to resemble miniature castles and other buildings. So what are you waiting for? Go find some fairies in this magical place. In place number 9, the Externsteine in Hornbad Meinberg, Germany. This mysterious stone formation, also known as the Star Stones or Stones of the Egge, juts up from the Teutoburger forest that surrounds it. They are known as an ancient and sacred Paleolithic worshipping ground, an astronomical calendar, and the location of a sacred pagan pillar known as Irminsul. The Externsteine became well known when Völkisch and nationalistic scholars took an interest in the late 19th and early 20th century. This interest peaked under the Nazi regime when the Externsteine became a focus of Nazi propaganda. Today, they remain a popular tourist destination and also continue to attract neo-pagans and unfortunately also neo-Nazis. This should not scare anyone off of visiting this impressive natural monument though. In place number 10, the Michaelskapelle Ossuary in Oppenheim, Germany. This location might not be for the faint of heart. It is home to thousands of human remains, which are nicely stacked for visitors to behold. Over 20,000 people that once resided in Oppenheim make up the bones you can find there. They died between 1400 and 1750 CE, many of them as a result of war and famine. The more extended bones are stacked like ropewood, making a solid defense of bones, accentuated by skulls that are set into the wall at sporadic spans. While the bones don't exactly reach the roof, it is believed that they did at one time go all the way up, yet have gradually compacted themselves throughout time, causing the assortment to appear to be a bit smaller. A significant number of the skulls bear the characteristics of little hands. Nope, not from ghosts. This is where youngsters have touched the skulls to check whether they're real or not. Or maybe it was ghosts. Who really knows? And last but not least, as a bonus just for you, members of the Germ Fam, in place number 11, Tiger and Turtle Magic Mountain in Duisburg, Germany. When you first see this attraction, it reminds you of a roller coaster for those seeking thrills and excitement. If you look closer, you will very quickly notice that it is something very different entirely though. Instead of sitting down and enjoying the ride, you'll have to start walking, since this art installation is indeed a walkway with complementary stairs. Its vertical loop is actually unwalkable and blocked off, just in case you were thinking about how to climb to the very top. It's still a very unusual and interesting place to visit though. So what are you waiting for? If these locations spurred your interest, remember there's links for more details in the video description. I would also love to hear your personal favorite places here in Germany. And if you enjoyed the video, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.